A long-awaited homecoming for a Wyoming airman who was killed more than a half-century ago during the Vietnam War. As Q2's Russ Riesinger reports, it was a hero's welcome for Lieutenant Ray KROGMAN as people lined up from Billings all the way to his home in Worland, Wyoming.
Lieutenant Ray KROGMAN was shot down and killed during the Vietnam War in January of 1967. Today, he's finally home. It was a day that the family of Lieutenant Ray KROGMAN had long been waiting for.
Thank God he's coming home now.
It was also a day they feared might never happen. As Lieutenant KROGMAN's flag-draped coffin was unloaded off the plane, it ended a journey that began more than a half-century ago. Kelly KROGMAN STEINDORF was just 6 years old when her uncle was killed.
Grandma never gave up hope. She passed in 90, but you know, they looked for him for a long time and they had ideas and whatnot, but it was every time we got a report, it was, you know, no news. So when that came, it was just truly a blessing.
After an honor guard ceremony at the airport, Lieutenant KROGMAN began the 125-mile trip back to his hometown of Worland, where he'd been president of his high school class, an athlete, and an Eagle Scout. People lined up along the procession route to pay their respects, including one troop of Scouts.
Well, I felt it was important to be here today because it's definitely not every day that we find remains, especially as old as the Vietnam War. And a lot of times, especially with Vietnam veterans, they did not get the respect they deserved when they came back.
Well, just to welcome a fallen brother home. You know, it's been, well, since 1967 when he went down, and it's a long time to be out there and no one around to support you and stuff. So it's really great to see that they found him and they're bringing him home.
Lieutenant KROGMAN's remains were discovered at the crash site in 2019 by a scientific recovery expert and finally identified last year, bringing some closure to his family and a return home for an American hero.
We've waited for a long time to come home. We just never dreamed it would be with all this fanfare and honor to have all the military and you know, the Patriot Riders and everything. It's just truly a blessing.
Lieutenant KROGMAN will now be transported back to his home of Worland, Wyoming, where a public ceremony will be held Wednesday. In Billings, I'm Russ Riesinger reporting for MTN News.
Thanks so much, Russ. Now, the public ceremony in Worland for Lieutenant KROGMAN is set for Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. at the Worland Middle School.